Okay, cool. Hey everyone, welcome to the Playlist Party UK. Now this is brought to you by Pit London and Kimani Moore. And we've been doing these every Sunday, but this one will be the last of the series. But don't worry, we're going to be back, just going on a break to, recalibrate, see what we can do. So if you've got any suggestions on what we could do to make this better or easier or anything like that, please let us know. We just want to help you guys the most. Now, if you guys didn't know, this is an event where artists have the opportunity to play their own music and receive instant feedback from music professionals. Now, make sure that your Zoom name is the name that you go by. So when we do shout you out, when we're playing your track, we want to give advice. We know you're shouting out the right person. Okay. Now, if you missed any of our last sessions, you can go back and watch it on our YouTube channel. So that's the Pit London on YouTube. So we've got the one we did with Asher from Atlantic Records, Ewan from Relentless Records, and Severine as well. So you can go check those back and listen to what they had to say. Now, tracks are going to be played out for 2 minutes maximum, and a panel will be giving you their feedback afterwards. So on the panel today, we have me, as co-founder of the Pit London, and I do radio promotions at All Ears. We have Naomi Poole, who's a producer on the Pit London radio show on Represent. And we have Esi, and she's the founder of Sanctuary London and also has a show on West Side Radio. And we have Nick Russell, and he's the founder of music blog, Blatantly Blunt. Now we're going to go into our Q&A, as you guys know. And today we're joined by Jide. Now, Jide is the co-founder of GUAP Magazine, and today we're going to be, discussing about how to get your music covered in publications, press, and all that those sort of areas for artists. So, how you doing, Jide? You good?
I'm blessed, my bro, man. Just trying to stay active, trying to stay positive.
Jeez, yeah, shout out for you for, coming onto this, man. We're big fans of what you guys have been doing at GUAP. You guys have really been pushing the culture forward. So, I just want to get some insight into that. So I want to just, jump right in and be like, how did GUAP Mag come about?
How did GUAP Mag come about? In a nutshell, I was at university studying computer science. Very boring, very different to what I do now. And basically on my third year, I had to do like a placement. So I had to go work in the city for a year. And that was like my first time kind of getting to see what that that lifestyle would be like for me. And I just realized immediately that wasn't my vibe, the whole suit and tie professional thing. It wasn't me. I felt like a fish out of water. So I decided to set up like a group, kind of like a collective, basically, that would come up with different ideas and work on different concepts. And then GUAP was actually the second thing that we worked on. The first one was a complete flop. We tried to stop speaking about that one there, but GUAP was like the second idea that we came up with. And initially, it was just going to be a platform, like a student newsletter that would celebrate young people doing cool things, like basically, and it developed and manifested into what we are today.
Okay, so what is GUAP as it stands at the moment then?
So GUAP is a youth-led digital media platform dedicated to documenting, nurturing, and showcasing emerging creative talent. So we do that across a number of different platforms, social media. We've got a website. We also have a magazine which we basically distribute digitally, and we also distribute in print as well.
Mm-hmm.
With like limited editions, and we use augmented reality for our print edition. And then we also have like a creative agency where we basically partner with different brands trying to tap into the youth demographic. We work with them on different campaigns, whether it be visual, whether it be events. And yeah, that's in a nutshell what we do. We also have like some creative studios. So we've got a podcast studio in Peckham. So yeah, we're doing a lot of things, a lot.
Nice, man. Now I just want to, obviously, a common thing that people go to publications, an artist will look to for publications to get like a track review. Now I know you guys do a lot of different things with artists at GUAP. So I just want to if you can give everyone an understanding of what the sort of ways that you work with artists in GUAP.
So really, there's so many different ways to it. It's nurturing. So we always like to work with people who are on a grassroots level. You know, people who are talented but don't necessarily have the platform or the ways of getting their music heard. And we basically come in and we have usually we'll start off with like a write-up, maybe for our website, on one of their latest releases. That could then lead to a feature in our magazine, which could then lead to maybe a cover on our magazine. We've had so many people that we've kind of showcased over the years that, you know, we worked with them before. You know, a lot of the people that we worked with, it was their first magazine feature or their first cover. And then on top of that, we have events. You know, we have our event, GUAP Party, which we do annually. And that's like usually a big platform that we use to showcase talent. And then as well, we also have a lot of brand partnership opportunities that come our way as well. So I'm forever looking for people to feature in different campaigns and things like that. So there's just so many ways that we use our platform to basically bring in the next generation of talent.
So how important would you say publications such as yourself are important for an artist's journey?
I think it's so important, but the only thing is there's not enough. You know, we have a lot of platforms that, let's say, are big but don't necessarily push the people who really need pushing. You know, so that was something that I noticed when we started, and not even just with just music. You know, the arts in general, just being a creative. You know, not too many people are talking about the graphic designer in South London that's killing it, or the dancer in North that's going on tour with Stormzy and all of these things. Like, no one was really talking about that. So we felt like we needed to come and fill that gap and basically show people that the creative industry in this country is lit and is being led by young creatives, you know.
Now, what would you say is the best way for people to contact, you know, to get involved with GUAP? Is it through, you know, you, or is it through, do you have a music editor? Like, do you have a submissions email? How does it work?
Yeah, so we literally have editors for each category. So if you're into music, you can contact our music editor as well. What I'm gonna do is after this, I'm just gonna like type everyone's email into the chat so everyone can just copy and paste it from there. So the best way to contact us is through the editors. Like, there was a time where I would be the one, you know, checking every email out, and most of the time I still do. But now we have someone there to actually, you know, go through that process with you and basically make it easier for your stuff to get featured on GUAP.
Nice. Now, you know, for someone who's gonna do their own blog, what kind of ideas would you have now you've gone through a lot of the ups and downs?
Yeah, for me, the biggest tip I'll give you is to, if you haven't started yet, just start. Like, you know, build your website, set up your social media, figure out what your brand is going to represent and what kind of content you want to showcase, and just go. And then the rest you'll kind of learn along the way. Because, you know, when we first started, we used to name every edition after, I guess, where we felt like we were at that point in our life. And the first issue is called Just Go. You know, and at the time we had no idea how a magazine functioned. You know, we were just two kids from South London, you know. So we didn't know all of that stuff. We didn't know how to do things professionally. We just kind of learned. And to some extent, it was our naivety that allowed us to kind of create a space for ourselves, because we embraced who we were. We embraced who our audience was, which was young creatives. And that ultimately became, you know, what the commercial side of the world wanted to see, you know. So I think your rough edges will add character to your brand, and you just kind of grow with the process.
Nice. We've got a message here from Hanice. Now, do you guys only focus on UK-based acts?
No, most definitely not. We definitely try and cover artists from all over the world. We've worked with people in Sweden, many people in America. We've been to Africa multiple times, documenting, you know, different creatives on the continent. So, yeah, in other words, we're open to seeing work and content from everyone across the world.
Nice. Now, what's it called? The Sound Junkies asked, out of your failed first idea, how much of that fed to GUAP?
A lot of it, man. I think in the investment group, there was about 5 or 4 of us. And in that process, I learned that myself and Ibrahim, who's my business partner now, that we work the best together. And basically, we ended up cutting off the rest of the team and kind of going on this venture ourselves. And from there, I basically got my business partner who I've been working with for 5 years, and we built this massive thing together. So I think that was a massive blessing of going through that process together. And also, I guess failing in every single way that I could have possibly failed was very humbling, and it made me more hungry to go towards my next goal. You know, I was relentless. You know, let's say the thing that we did that flopped, which was an event, was in January. You know, I was already working on GUAP by the next week, and I launched GUAP in May. You know, so it just made me more hungry to kind of get back on my feet and really just go for it.
Nice. Now, you know your mission statement, or like the ethos of the brand, has it changed much over the years? You know, now you've got different opportunities, sponsorships. There's a lot more different factors that play into it. Now you've got people that work in the team, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah, man, that's the thing. Like when we first started, we had 4 core values, and then we added another one to it over time. And honestly, like even in my new office, we still have those values pinned up on the wall. You know, we had it in my first office too, and it's honestly the same principles that we stand by. You know, like integrity, passion, perseverance, audacity, and creativity. And like I think those are the things that carry us through along this journey. Because at the end of the day, me and Ibrahim are always sitting down having business meetings. You know, debates and battles about where we should go, what the direction should be, and that might always change. But I think what we know our core values, you know, like it's kind of hard to stray from it when you're addicted to kind of, you know, having that integrity for your brand.
We got Simon even asking how important is it to have serious associates from the jump? I really like that question.
Do you know what? I think it's just as important to have serious people around you as it is to have non-serious people around you. I don't want to kind of, you know, be rude to the people that I started with other than Ibrahim, but like when we first started, we had friends, you know, like, you're in charge of the marketing department, or you're in charge of this social media, you're in charge of that. And I think I went through a whole like year and a half of just kind of recycling people that kind of had energy when they first started. You know, it kind of just fizzled away, or they said that they would do something and they didn't commit to it because they had other priorities. And I think for a year and a half, I was so confused as to what the hell was going on. Why? What was, you know, what am I missing here? But I think I realized that number one, of course, really money makes the world go round. So if you want someone to make you their priority, you need to, you know, I guess help them with all their worries in life. And money is a big one, you know, so you need to pay people to get that A1 effort. But for a long time, you might not be able to pay stuff. Like I was only able to pay stuff like this year, and we've been operating for 5 years. So I guess in the process, it showed me what to look for, what real true values to look for in people, you know, when the money's not there, because it makes a difference when the money is there as well, you know.
And, you know, similar to me, I guess, working with a friend, how has your relationship with Ibrahim been? You know, how is it that you lot still find that balance between friendship and business associates?
Yeah, man, like, I wouldn't say it's hard, but it's kind of not, like, you know, because me and Ibrahim, for anyone who knows us, like, we're very different. Like, people might not know it if you don't know us personally, but we kind of, like, balance each other out, and it makes it easier. One thing is we treat GUAP like it's our child. Do you know what I mean? Like, we the level of responsibility that we you know have over our brand is like, it's unspoken. Like there's never really been a time where I've had to bag him up or he's had to bag me up. Or we've definitely argued over minor things just out of passion. But you know, we've never really clashed, you know, or butted heads. And I think that's because we know that it's bigger than us, you know, and I guess we're just doing our part at the end of the day.
Yeah, no, I hear that. It's good, because I guess a lot of people, especially up and coming artists, and, you know, coming up in the game, you just work with friends, so it's always hard to get that balance. Now, I guess there's a bit of...
Not all friends are the right friends either.
Yeah. Now, I want to ask about the publication world. You know, you guys, you know, the first video magazine, you know, then everything is changing. And I guess now with COVID-19, it's changing even more. So what are you guys doing on your side to, you know, making sure you're staying ahead of the game, I guess?
Bruh, it's tough, man, because like I said, we have such a diverse business model. So, you know, like over the past 3 months, our podcast studio was mad thing for us, you know. The amount of creatives that we had coming through those doors.
Tell us about the podcast studio. I think that would be really cool.
Yeah, so obviously, cut a long story short, I guess sometime towards the end of last year when we moved into our new office, we set up a podcast studio because we noticed that I guess within the youth urban community within the UK, London in particular, it wasn't necessarily that accessible. You know, prices were quite expensive and not a lot of people were making money off podcasts. So paying for a studio, you know, and giving it consistency wasn't something that people could do. So we kind of noticed that gap in the market and we basically launched our studio, which was affordable. We offered, you know, amazing rates to young creatives, you know, monthly memberships, you know, which brought down the price to about £10 per session. We just wanted to make it really accessible for young creatives. And, you know, it was a hit. Like, you know, every single day we was packed to the brim. And it just kind of showed us the importance of having physical spaces to create and to facilitate, you know, creation, because some people that started podcasts in October, you know, in our studio have gone on to go and, you know, do bits and work with Monzo and do talks and stuff like that. So it's just amazing to be part of that journey as well with the creators that we work with.
No, that's cool. And that has like helped with just the whole brand of GUAP itself. Are you not like signing or making your own podcasts and getting people on the podcast?
That's the thing, man. Like we are working on that, man. But we're working on so many things. Like, you know, we've already been speaking to a lot of these big brands about stuff like Spotify.
Yeah.
I've had meetings with BBC Sound. So like these people, they really, really do pay attention and they know what's going on, you know. But my thing is, whenever I'm pitching ideas to any of these like companies, I'm always thinking about how it's going to benefit my community, because like my community is as big as I can get. That's how big I want my community to be. So it's always going to be to do with the community. So, you know, any opportunity that we do get in that realm, we want it to be a game changer for the space in it. So I'm sure it will happen.
Now, I want to ask about, like, you know, I know you've got this creative agency there. What would you give advice for artists trying to get sponsorships?
It's a tough one, but I think what it really comes down to is relationships. You know, I know it might sound like cliche, but I think sometimes artists in particular, maybe not management, but artists, they underestimate the value of actually being a part of the community and, you know, really making friends with people and showing support and going to people's events and just showing love where you can and just building those organic relationships. I think it's also about, I guess, aligning yourself with the brands that you want to work with. So you kind of have to, through your content, show the kind of things that you're into, show what your interests are, and that will then attract the type of companies that would want to work with you. And there's different ways to integrate brands within your content. You know, it could be, you know, branded content where they just slide in a few items into your video shoot and get you to kind of connect the message, and no one will ever know. You know, you can make a lot of big money from that. I guess in terms of like connecting the dot and finding those people, remember that creative agencies such as myself, such as Exposure London, such as M&C Saatchi, such as Mediacom, they handle the accounts for a lot of these major corporations. So there are people, you know, that are sitting on Instagram, sitting on Twitter with less than 1,000 followers that are like the brand partnership person or the, you know, comms person. And these are the people that you need to make friends with, you know, make them fans of your music, make them fans of your brand. and just kind of organically build that relationship. And over time, it will definitely manifest, you know.
Nice. Now, we've got a question here. Now, do you guys appeal to a sound, or are you open to anything? What catches your eyes and ears from artists and graphic designers? That's from Henise.
Yeah. So we try, the only sounds we avoid are kind of like mainstream sounds. We kind of, you know, sway towards more alternative sounds, you know, things that aren't necessarily like fit for radio right now, because we feel like that kind of stuff gets a lot of too much support already, you know, the system's already behind that. So like we rather figure out what the next best thing is. So we're always looking for sounds that are mad different. So the more different you are, the more likely we're probably going to see you. And in terms of like your visual aesthetic, again, we look for people that have ideas outside the box. You know, I hate the typical videos with the, you know, the girls twerking and the big flashy cars and the chains and the bottles. I hate that stuff. I've seen it a million times recreated. You know, I want to see things that are weird, you know, and just interesting and that have a deeper message and make me think. I love stuff like that. So yeah.
Nice. I've got another question here from Mateo. Now, what's your overall goal you see for yourself and also for those you work with?
Say that again, my bro.
So what's your overall goal for yourself in the industry? And then after that, those that you work with?
Wow. For myself, like,
yeah.
You know, well, the other day I found out that the first, like, ever, like, billionaire in, like, modern times, was actually the founder of BET
wow.
in America. I forgot his name. But, like, yeah, you know, it's a media company there. So my goal isn't really about the money, but I guess it's about the level of achievement and the level of impact. So I want this space to be really big, you know, and I guess it's hard to kind of support the grassroots and get big. I guess for me, it's not about getting super big. It's about having really big impact. So I just want GUAP to be international. I want us to be impactful. I want us to help change people's lives. And I want to basically keep doing what we're doing now, which is uplifting communities and alternative sounds and pushing underrepresented talent to the forefront.
Nice. Now, I want to ask, what's some of your standout campaigns that you've worked on, or like feature pieces of artists that you work on that you're really proud of over your time? There's been some really cool front pages that I've seen as well, like the Masterpiece and Neo and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know where to start. I think J Hus is a big one. I have to always bring that one up because of what he's gone on to achieve. And like we featured him just after Friendly, or around that time when he came out of jail for the first time back in the day. And it was just mad because he was at such a different point in his career, you know, even though he carries himself the way he dresses, you know, we were the first people to interview him. And I just remember it like it was me still doing all the interviews at that time, me and him in the back of Addison Lee, you know, because he didn't feel comfortable to have the camera actually film him. So we had to record the audio and then kind of do B-roll for the interview. So yeah, that was just a really raw and uncut conversation. So I really enjoyed that. I think working with her as well from America, she was one of my favorite artists. You know, I remember when she put out her first EP, and then she put out her second one, and then she went on to go win 2 Grammys. You know, so like every time I see her, she just kind of blows my mind. And to think that when she came to London, like pretty much for the first time, you know, we were able to make it happen and work with her, and like, yeah, that was special.
Nice. Now, I got an artist from Ade. A question from Ade. Can artists present collaboration ideas to GUAP?
Collaboration, yeah, definitely. I think the best way would be to speak to like our music editor, because he knows exactly kind of what visual campaigns we're working on for ourselves, and you know, I guess, yeah, he would know where you would fit in as an artist into what we're doing. And the more prepared you come, the better it is, you know, like, I'm not saying come with like, you know, just a press release. if you have an idea for a content piece or a documentary or something like that, like we're very open to hearing ideas and potentially making them happen, man. There's no rules. Like, we're not one of them companies where there's mad processes and that. Like, you know, if we like it, we like it.
Nice. Got one more question before we sneak in. So Maya asked, the UK claim to like different, but anytime they come across it, they ignore it for what's trending. How do we change that? The sound of the UK is repetitive. So I guess it's like, especially in the urban world, we all see what comes out on Grand Daily, you know what I mean? And I guess that a lot of people feel like that's just not representative of the whole of urban music in the UK. So I guess, what's your thoughts on that? How do we change that?
I agree, man. But then I remember, because I've been, I guess, part of like, you know, the alternative scene and stuff for about 5 to 6 years. And I remember what I was like before I really became a proper fan of music. And I would just kind of listen to what my friends would tell me to listen to, or, you know, just hear what was popular. So I never really went to no events or kind of understood what underground culture was. And for somebody to understand the artist like a Koji Radical, or to understand the artist like Nux, or, you know, there's too many I could even name that's kind of on that, in that space, or even a Sim, you know, like, I feel like they need to kind of get out of their house a bit more and understand that there's a different space other than, you know, GRM and Link Up TV, that artists actually, you know, putting things up on their own channel. Oh my days, can you believe it?
Yo, we here? Hello?
I think he's frozen.
No.
You know, like, it's doing well. Someone like your thing can go on tour. Like, it's doing well. Do you know what I'm saying? Someone like your thing can go on tour in Australia and places there. But, you know, it's would they... Hello?
Yeah. It came through, yeah. Will you ever get the love from the UK?
Yeah. So, yeah. Will you ever get the love from the UK? I don't know. I think that chapter hasn't been answered yet. But that's what people like myself are here to kind of to do. Do you get what I'm saying? Is to help bridge that gap. So, and it's down to the artists as well. Like, we're at an interesting point in history. So, you know, like, if you can break through as an artist now and be that person, then you're making history, my friend.
Now, can artists present music video submissions to GUAP Mag from Little Rocket?
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Just send it to us. Send it to Zwelly, our music editor. I put it in the chat earlier. I'll type it in again. And yeah, he checks every single email. He looks through every single one, and as long as it's sick, he will definitely put it up.
Sick. Now, have you got any last words for any artists out there, like, that are just trying to come up right now, trying to get more coverage out there?
Yeah, I would say think about branding. Like, you know, that's just our message of the day. You know, there's so many things I could say, but I always say, think about branding. Think about how your message is being translated through every single thing that represents you, whether it be your social media, whether it be your bio, whether it be your lyrics, whether it be your visual aesthetics. I think it's very important to have a clear brand identity and have a kind of clear message that people know that, yeah, this is what you represent. And I think it makes it easier for people like myself to kind of, I guess, blend you in with my world, which is like the commercial world and stuff, you know? So I think that's just from my perspective. From a branding perspective, I'm always looking for artists that I can align with, you know, things. So I think that brand alignment is key.
Nice. Well, I want to, thank you for your time. Where can everyone find you, I guess, and GUAP?
Yeah, so you can follow GUAP on social media. It's GUAP MAG on pretty much everything. I'm gonna type in my social media into the chat as well if you guys want to follow me. And yeah, I'm gonna drop our music editor into the chat as well, so you lot can email him if you need to.
Nice. Well, if you've got some time, if you want to stick around with us and listen to some music, get some feedback. But yeah, thanks for the chat. It was really informative. Now I'd like to welcome our panel in.
Pleasure to be here, bro.
Love, bro. We're going to start with Esi. How you doing, Esi? You good?
Sorry, I was muted.
If you want to just give everyone a little rundown about yourself, that'd be cool.
Hi everyone, so I'm Esi. I'm on Westside Radio and I'm the founder of Sanctuary London. And yeah, that's me.
Nice, thank you for coming on. Nick, how are you today?
Yeah, I'm pretty good, man. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. If you want to give everyone a little rundown about yourself.
Yeah, for sure. So I like to think of myself as a veteran blogger. I've been running Blatantly Blunt since the end of 2007 somehow. Started off as a hobby and I've literally just been going since then, and it's kind of opened a whole different range of different roads for me. Obviously I focus on UK hip hop, US hip hop, grime, dancehall. Those are the main genres that I focus on, but obviously I touch on other ones as well if it really jumps out at me. I have a radio show on Pyro Radio. I have a podcast on Kiki, and I run promotional like PR campaigns for rappers and producers as well. So I guess my lane is promoting undiscovered talent. I interview a lot of rappers as well, some big ones like Ice-T, Ed Sheeran, like big names like that, down to artists with hardly any followers. So I try and cover the whole range depending on whether I like them or not. Really, that's my kind of that is my criteria. So yeah, good to be here.
Nice, thanks for coming on board. And we've got Tramell. How you doing, Tramell?
I'm all right. I got a burst of energy, so I thought, let me jump on.
Good. Do you want to give a little rundown?
Yeah. I'm Tramell, also known as Dark Stepper. I'm a DJ. I run the Pit London with Alfred. We do PR. We have a radio show on Represent. We also have a little record label as well. And then in my day job, I work for Bleep.com, which is an online record store. And we sell vinyl and CD for the dance world.
Hey. And so me, I do co-founder of Pit with Tramell. I mainly run the event side of the Pit, work on doing radio promotions there as well as doing radio promotions at All Is. So I do some national radio campaigns, community radio, and club mailers there. So so that's what we've been doing. I've been doing that for a few years now, and yeah, it's good. I'm looking forward to listening to some of your music.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool.
Cool. So how it works is we play up to a minute and a half of all the songs that were submitted, and then we'll open it up to the panel and everyone just kind of gives their feedback. Also get involved in the chat if you like it. If you don't, say why. And and then we'll just have a discussion around it. So the first track comes from an artist called Reeks, and it's entitled That's What I Like.
TG Tracks. Yo, let's go.
Chip, Riz, that's what I like. Big tits, that's what I like. All that dirty talk, that's what I like. Lay down vertical, that's what I like. Big lips, big back, yeah, that's what I like. Got my swagger intact, yeah, that's what I like. Flavors on deck, yeah, that's what I like. Wave and I flex, yeah, that's what I like. Big drip, that's what I like. I think big, that's what I like. From outside, I hear the maddest of vibes. Which DJ playing the bangers inside? This thing giving me the strangling eye. No prolonging, I just bang it and buy. What is it I like? I like the batty and fries. I like it when they wanna bend it over, not shy. Consistent bread coming in is what I like. YPT coming in for the night. What is it I like? I like the body and ice. Jewels like Santana covered in shine. My black bandana covered in crime. I remember clearly when they ran up inside. Unruly, know the road's not nice. Still get flashbacks to the same night. Could've done time, could've done died. Could've done fucked up, could've done life. Can't complain, hair living life. Had like 21 years in the ride. No ties, noticing time it flies. All night, rolling with mine, I'm fine. Here for the girls and I'm here for the vibe. Looks like I'm gonna be here for the night. Mad, rough, that's how she like it. I already knew. Like I'm a sidekick, temptation. She didn't wanna fight it, sensation. She said she like it. From when I stepped in the place, it was vibrant. Went home with a brown ting, how I like it. After I done what I said, like Simon, I sent the brown ting home, Love Island. Chip, Riz, that's what I like. Big spliff, that's what I like. Man got surgical, that's what I like. All that dirty talk, that's what I like. Get that stretch, that get back to my life. Got my swagger intact, yeah, that's.
I'll be interested to find out what the Americans think of that, because that is very, very gay. I like it. It's got a really catchy hook. You know, it's nice to always have a like a repetitive phrase in there, especially if it's going to be like in that kind of grime lane. For me, it's not like something that I would play on my show necessarily, but I enjoy it. I'm gonna pass that on to Nick. What do you think?
Yeah, no, that's definitely my kind of thing. It's got that fusion of like authentic grime flow patterns. The lyrical content is very UK, as you're saying, like the things he's talking about and the phraseology he's using, you know, are very, very British, very London. I would have liked to have heard the beat, you know, properly, because obviously on this Zoom call, you don't really get to hear the right quality. So I can't really comment on that. But I like the loops. I like the overall feel of the song. It kept me engaged. It kept me wanting to hear more. That's quite a big challenge in itself. So yeah, thumbs up. I like that one.
Esi.
Yeah, I really liked it. I thought that was cold. The beat was jumpy. His flow, like he was really nice on that. His diction as well, like everything he said was very clear. I would definitely play that on my show, definitely, because on my show we focus on well, it really depends on the show, but mostly UK. I like to play a lot of UK in sets and on radio as well. But I would definitely feature that. Is he in the chat right now? Or no?
I'm not sure. Make
One
yourself
thing
known if you are.
Oh yeah, one thing. His name is Reeks. I would obviously, like, if your name's your name, but I would probably change the name.
Yeah.
Because there's already 2 Reeks.
Yeah.
2 or 3 Reeks.
Yeah.
I would, from a branding perspective, like I would not release a song with REEKS or Z, you know, just so you can stand out straight away as an artist. Because if that's your first song or your first track, that's really good. I like that.
Alfred.
Yeah, I like that song. You know, very catchy hook. The beat is fun. Like, it keeps the vibe going. It keeps you on the toes. It's not like a monotone beat. And he's like got very good wordplay. I think someone said, one of you said his diction is really good, which I 100% agree with for a rap song, especially when you're going on that sort of tempo. And it's definitely a thumbs up for me. I would listen to that, like, just in general. So yeah.
Yeah, for sure. All right, next track comes from Black Skin. He was a big favorite in Playlist Party number 2. So this is the follow-up track, and it's entitled Wolf Deluxe.
Yeah. Hey yo, these niggas saying what? Hold your thought, cause honestly I do not give a fuck. See, I've been thinking bigger than the city, level up. Rolling round town fresh in my Wolf Deluxe, in a blunt in my hand. Understand how I stand 10 toes, black skin. The one to tell them suck a dick and never give a damn. The one to make the shit that got them hating from the stands. Y'all need some pom-poms, all these niggas is my fans. They watching how I'm moving, keeping tabs upon the man. Trying to figure where I'm headed, keep them guessing, that's the plan. I've been smoking weed and doing all the shit they say I can't. Steady rapping tortilla, yeah, I think I'm Mexican. Tell them who the best again. Well, not the best, significantly better than the rest. Inhaling green, it's like I tore the ass up off my chest. The lowest lane, I swear I don't travel your whole set. Got them James Harden steps, nigga. Yeah. Hey yo, these niggas doing what? Trying to copy styles, but that shit is hella butt. You'll never shine in someone else's shadow, good luck. So I keep it original, my shit is Wolf Deluxe. I don't really give a fuck about opinions, cause you can't walk in my shoes. So pardon my rude response to the way niggas move. I come from a different section where you fuck with the dudes that fuck with your tools. So now the circle's smaller than 2. Yes, I am the one to make a raisin with no sun. The pressure that I'm applying can only compare to none. More dangerous than
so that one there, Black Skin with Wolf Deluxe. Esi.
I think that was very, very, very smooth. That was very that was very smooth. I would just say that his vocals weren't as like prevalent. So I think it might need a proper master.
Yeah, I agree.
On the song. But yeah, that was smooth. The beat was really nice. But yeah, definitely vocals need to be brought out over the beat, because I don't know if that was my Zoom, like my my headphones, but from that audio, the beat was loud, stronger than the vocals.
Yeah, I kind of got the same thing.
Yeah.
Nick, this is kind of in your lane.
Yeah, I agree with what you guys are saying about the vocals not matching with the beat too much. I like the lyrical content a lot. I thought he had some interesting things to say And I think he flowed really strong as well. Like he carried the beat pretty well. I guess the delivery wasn't as strong as I would have liked, and the beat itself felt a bit mid 2000s, which is what I think a lot of production sounds like today, where I feel as though the levels need to be pushed forward, to bring him up to the current contemporary sound. So I feel like if the beat was a bit more modernized and a bit more punchy, and I don't know, it's just my personal taste. It's not saying it's not good, but it wasn't my kind of beat personally. But I thought overall, no, it showed good potential, and I would check other songs of yours. I just think it's important to keep that clarity as hard hitting and clear as possible. So yeah, overall pretty good.
How does an artist pay homage to, like, old school hip hop or boom bap, like that genre, whilst keeping it current?
It's a good question. I think carry some of the elements into 2020. But for example, like that, I don't know how to describe it on the beat, but that looping kind of part on the beat felt a little bit tired. And yeah, I feel as though there's different ways of producing the track. I'm not a producer, so I can't really kind of give too much detailed information, but I just think give people some samples on the beat and give people some kind of drum patterns that they haven't necessarily heard for the last 15 years. So just kind of do something a little bit outside the box and something a bit original and fresh to the ear, which is what you're hearing out of the UK, I think, at the minute. If anything, the US is not progressive enough as a whole. Obviously, a lot of artists are progressive, but there's a lot of people that are doing what has been done for the last 20, 25 years. And for me, I think if you really want to impress people, it's got to be outside the box and something a bit more like eyebrow raising, where it engages you a bit more. But I think you had a lot of the most important elements down. So I think there's definitely some good potential there.
Good advice, man. Good advice. All right, the next track comes from Sav, and it's entitled My Brothers.
Mark got that heat.
Brothers on my family. Please don't be mad at me. Cause a problem, then it's tragedy. Never let it take away my sanity. This life we live reality. My brothers are my family. And if I ain't fucking with you, please don't be mad at me. 10 toes down goes a problem, then it's tragedy. I can't ever let the ends take away my sanity. I'm trying to get my team out the trenches. In the field is where I've been, not the benches. Blowing up was just a dream in detention. And now my life ain't what it seems, it's relentless. Chopping out this bando, I'm chopping up with my brothers. Magic mix Orlando, we doing this for our mothers. Rolling out with his Rambo, now broski in the shutters. We coming straight from the ghetto, bro, we ain't growing up in no suburbs. I can tell you about the pain, tell you about the struggle. I got ice in my veins like D'Angelo Russell. On the corner by the block we used to hustle. Now we out the borough trying to make this money double. Busy on my line so I can barely write these rhymes, but I'm due to blow up soon. My nigga said it's only right. Real talk, I'm coming from the place where niggas blow off crime. And most my oldest set up in themselves for their prime. Not trying to be like them, I'm flying out of these ends. Millie stack, penthouse and a brand new shape Benz. My broski got a new clip and he said that one.
Alfred, I'll pass that to you.
It's a vibe. I see there's something there, but I don't know. I don't think it's engaging enough for me personally. But I am feeling that vibe. It's just that there's a lot of songs that sound like this now. I think we spoke about this at a couple of playlist parties before, that you just need to, if you're making songs like this, you just need to do just a little bit more to stand out. Otherwise, you will get drowned in a lot of what's coming out there, because even the top level artists are still making music like this, and their production levels are a lot higher. So, just experiment. I think if you are going to make songs like this, just have a bit more fun with it, because you don't want to sound too similar, because you'll just get drowned out. But I like the vibe. I would listen to another song from him.
Yeah, I think so for me. Like, I wasn't particularly engaged with the track, but I think that's because this type of hip hop with your like your Young Teflons and your Blade Brown, where it's very like deep storytelling, just isn't exciting to me. And if that's going to be the case, then I think one thing that needed to be worked on was like just variation in the production. The loop was just like on repeat, and there was no kind of switch up or anything like that. So yeah, for me, it wasn't something that I would take, but it wasn't bad. It was just like inoffensive. That's how I would say. Yeah. Nick.
Yeah. Things I liked about it. The content felt very real and authentic, and it felt like you were speaking from real experiences that you've had and talking about your life, which is good to a certain extent, because I guess it feels like, you know, a real rap record. So the emotion was quite, you know, hard hitting, and, you know, it felt like you meant what you're talking about. Also, I liked how the vocal styles switched from one to another. I thought that made it more interesting and stopped me from hearing what I think I'm going to hear. And the way that the vocal switch styles was cool. Things I didn't really like about it, anyone that knows me knows I'm not a big fan of auto-tune for rappers, unless it's like done in a real kind of clever way, or, you know, done in a real professional way. I think T-Pain and Tory Lanez do it really well. Apart from that, I'm not really into auto-tune rap. So yeah, that's not really my thing, but I felt it was pretty good. It wasn't really for me. Again, the piano loop felt like something I've heard for about 20 years on a lot of UK hip hop. That kind of piano, like melancholic piano loop, personally. Maybe I've been listening to hip hop so long that, that I'm bored of it, but yeah, not for me, that piano. But overall, I felt it was an interesting structure. The lyrics were quite, made me want to listen more. But overall, probably not something I would play, but I can see why other people would enjoy it.
Esi.
I agree with Nick when he said that when the flow switched, it definitely made me more interested. Like when the beat dropped, I think he was saying like, I'm gonna ghetto you or something. And then the beat dropped out and then he came back. I was like, okay, this is like renewed my interest in the song. And I think that if you're gonna do that style of rap, which is, it can be quite monotonous or quite repetitive, then you just need to like give it 100%, like come with it very, very hard. Don't just go along with the beat. And some of his flow reminded me of Rushy. I don't know if anyone listens to Rushy, but when Rushy raps, like it's a bit more skippy and it's 100%, you know. So I didn't not like the song. I actually really liked it, and it'll be something that I would drive along to. But yeah, I think if you're gonna go down that route, then you have to do it 100%. You can't just like think, okay, cool, I'm gonna make a song where like I'm just rapping and then the beat is just gonna, like, the beat shouldn't carry what you're saying, because you're saying some good stuff in the song. And yeah, I like the way the flow switched. I would just say if you're gonna go down that lane with the auto-tune, then not necessarily do auto-tune 100%, but just the way you're rapping, just, I feel like you could do one more take and then it'd be like, you know what I mean, it'll be like 100%. But yeah, I liked it.
Calm. All right, the next track comes from Mateo, and it's entitled Fourth Quarter Flows.
Hey. East to the west, niggas been talking out they neck to me. Soul pipe dreams broke some hearts, like what is love to me? How much more could I give that you ever stole from me? Nights like this, I ponder who is better off without me. Soul pipe dreams broke some hearts, like what is love? Yeah, how much more could I give that you ever stole? Hey, east to the west, niggas been talking out their neck. Hey, nights like this, yeah. I've stared death right in the face, nigga. I've held 10K in cash, nigga. I took real L's and flipped those. Some W's to even out my lows, nigga. Pure potential, a nigga had to get his work up. 4 a.m. flow, like will this be enough? I spent too long thinking I'll be on one. Sold my soul for the cause, a nigga, then some. Took a shot and take a hit, my nigga, and one. Speeding through the hills with X and rockets, screaming, kill some. Broke down barriers from my family, nigga, then some. Yeah. Fourth cut of flows, I'm 10 toes. These niggas turn up their nose. Ask for a verse, I impose. I'm no respecter of persons. Wrote it all in my verses. This is written as purpose. Really
I can see everyone in the comments like, yeah. I don't really play a lot of US hip hop or listen to a lot of US hip hop, I have to be honest. And the vibe I was getting from that was like when I did listen to it, and it was like Mac Miller and J. Cole and Wale, like that's the kind of vibe I got. Yeah, I liked it though. Well, no, I didn't not like it. I don't know. I feel like I don't think I can give the best opinion on it, because it wouldn't be something that I would be like, yeah, I want to listen to this, you know? Mm-hmm. I think that, again, I think with the delivery could have been a lot stronger than what it was. Yeah.
I really liked it. It's very much what we play on our show. If we're gonna play like US music, it has to be like people that you're gonna have to listen to the show and hear people that you've never heard before.
Yeah.
And Mateo is actually someone that we've supported quite a few times on the show. I like his delivery, and he's saying it's unmixed as well. So
okay,
for it where it is now, I think it's pretty solid. I would like to, I don't know what the rest of the song sounds like, but I would like to hear just a little bit more, a change in sort of personality in the delivery, maybe a little bit later in the song. It kind of hinted at that in the hook, but maybe if you could just push it a little bit more just to give it a little bit distinction. At the same time, I kind of understand the kind of vibe that he's going for. But with something that where it's like fourth quarter flows, I would expect something a little bit more
urgent.
Yeah, and energetic. So I don't know if the song, like the title track, was just kind of messing with my perception of the song. But yeah, it was good. It's good for a first draft for sure. Alfred.
I liked it. It was a really nice vibe. Like, it's proper Sunday vibes. I'm feeling like when I'm listening to like that sort of old school type of hip hop. There was times when I thought like there could have been better wordplay and stuff like that. But as I listened on, I realized that it's just a nice, like, quite an easy listening sort of bars he's coming with. So, you know, I kind of just changed my mind and realized, you know, this is actually more of a vibe. It's nothing too intense. So it's not trying to be something that it's not. And for that, I just like it. Like, a really nice chilled vibe is the sort of thing that I would sort of listen to anyway. I guess if he was to change up the lyrics, maybe some bits could be a bit more hard hitting, but at the same time, I think it's fine the way it is, in terms of just very, very, like, almost very simplistic, but just like enough for you to really just get it. Like, you know, that sort of, it's quite like mainstream rap now in a good way, you know, just so the average listener can sort of jump on and understand the lyrics.
Someone say it's Take A vibes.
Yeah, I think that's quite true.
Yeah. All right, the next track is from Merenisa, and it's entitled Broken and Bruised.
The knife deeper when I saw you with her. My mind's out of space as you lie to my face. This home's gone cold. Yes, you ruined this home. Her love is dead and gone, and you did it on your own. After all the things that we did, I thought you'd always be mine. Little did I really know that would run out of time before you change your mind. Oh, how love is blind. I should have known better than to want you, than to trust you, than to love you. I deserve better than you. And if I could, I'd leave you broken, bruised, broken, bruised. Maybe if I held my breath a little longer, it will all go away. Yes.
Okay. Marinisa, Broken and Bruised. Esi.
I think the strongest part of the song was the chorus, but I didn't really like the harmony before the chorus. I felt like it was quite a jarring note. And I think I liked the chorus the most because like her voice it was nice and well-rounded, and also the beat dropped. I think a different beat would have made me like it more. There's definitely potential in that song, but I just think with some tweaks, maybe some different harmonies or some better harmonies in the verse as well, it could have been stronger. I think there's like a couple tweaks, couple improvements, but the chorus was really nice. I like that when she was singing "I Want to Leave You Broken and Bruised." I was like, yes girl.
Yeah, I wasn't like upset about it, but I thought with the chorus I needed a little bit more, like,
did you,
in those two lyrics, especially like because I felt like it was dragging along for me in terms of like the verse, and I was like, okay, maybe if she switches it up with like a really like well-structured chorus, it would kind of bring it together. But for me, it was just like, I don't think it stands out in the kind of landscape of what R&B is now. Not to say it needs to sound the same and that you can't have something that is like down this lane, but if we're going to compare it to stuff that is down this lane, it doesn't kind of like shine out.
Can I just say that I think I said this to my friend as well who sings, and I said that if you want to, obviously everybody has their own sound, but you should know what sound you're going for first of all. And if there's a certain lane you want to be in, then you really have to look at who the best people in that lane are, especially when it comes to instrumentals and beats. Because I think when R&B singers are, oh, I've just released a track, it's my first single, the beat is always very, very just simple. And I'm like, but I want more. Because if you can sing, I know you can deliver more, you know? So I think that's probably because I've heard it for like a week. I've heard like 2 songs. I'm like, I just want more. Your voice is better than either the instrumental, or I would like it I just want something, like I want some live stuff in there. I want some keys in there, some strings. I want some harmonies in the song. I don't just want to hear someone just sing for 3 minutes.
Exactly.
Know?
And that's not to say that she's not a good vocalist, because I think she's a good vocalist.
Yeah.
But maybe it might be the case that the beat just wasn't helping her in this situation. And yeah, you're right. When you're creating a song, you need to think like the beat is part of the song, and that's what creates a special product. It's not just because you can sing or because you can rap that
100%.
That's all you need. You need to have the full package.
100%.
Nick, for someone that, I don't know, do you play a lot of R&B?
I've listened to a lot of R&B over the years, but I don't play R&B on the shows or on the blog or anything. But yeah, I am into R&B, I suppose. And, you know, didn't really blow me away. And I feel like that format of R&B song has been done so much that even if you are really good, it's not going to be enough to really break out of that kind of that sound that we've come to know for X amount of years. So I thought the production was interesting. I'm not sure if I heard it correct or not, but it sounded like there was a sample of Coldplay Trouble in there, Trouble by Coldplay, which I like kind of hearing little touches in there. But yeah, I mean, it's not really my thing to comment on, so I can't really leave an accurate description of it, but I thought pretty good. Didn't make me want to look into it more. So yeah, kind of, yeah, cool. I'll deal with it, but nothing really mind-blowing.
I mean, some things to take on board there, I guess. So the next song comes from Siming, and it's entitled Siming Says.
They listen to Simon, let me tell you about Simon Says. Yeah, I said the whole team looking healthy, and the whole squad lately been fed. I can't apprehend what they take a rest on. Esther Simon said the flows ain't intense. We'll just wait till Simon's fire by the clean rhyming that Simon says. Yeah, I love my Air Force Ones when I need more pairs and lovely hues. But it ain't just preps, my dude, when Simon says you got trust these shoes. Bear girl's been lovely too, the kid, but still he can't trust these. Who's that down for the boy, can't love these new people too quick, gotta judge these you. Keep stunting, you can go bankrolls to bankrupt. Funny how it's all down when the cash down. I mean cash down, seen people crash while dripped and dry when the P gets splashed up. He's not my brother, he love chat, but he's got problems with me, but catch out. We link up and count words, he spat now. Cool man, say nothing, the way that they discuss us, disgusting. Can't get too invested, I'm cutting. And I'm trying to get green like I just got meat and pop in. Worse missing leaves of pumpkin, chasing dough like I'm eating dumpling. Festival to trust you, man loves it. So catch me outside, I'm not ski, I ain't slumping. Or yeah, might catch me inside, writing, sliding on the next beat, me vibes and she whining. Tell her TikTok, I'ma hit drops. Life is all about timing. I mean, music's all about timing. Wait, no, life is all about music. I glide all around lyric typing, thinking, will they ever hear my thing? Cause they listen to Simon. Let me tell you about Simon Says.
Alfred.
I love that track. I'm really feeling that track. It's like, wait, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, cool. Yeah, no, I'm really feeling that track. It's just like, it's just nice. It's just fun, proper vibey. He's still talking about like stuff that's true to, like, I guess that makes sense to him and that he wants to speak on, but you know, coming through with just making sure it's getting across in a way that is just fun and relatable. I just think a lot of people sometimes when they have an idea for a song, they go a bit too hard on that idea and then they forget, you know, you still want to make a fun song. And it's definitely a song that would work really well on radio, daytime radio, and as specialists alike. I definitely want to just add that to my playlist, to be honest.
Esi.
Yeah, I have a lot of time for that song. That was fun. That was so good. The beat was interesting. The rap was interesting. I think some points maybe it just got a bit like overwhelming, like he got caught up. So maybe in some parts it could have been slowed down a bit, but that is a very good song. I'll play that tomorrow on radio. That's a very, very good song. I got a lot of time for that.
So,
yeah.
I liked it, not as much as you guys, to be honest. I felt it had he had character, you know, he had some kind of fun charisma. I thought the flow pattern was pretty strong. I liked his flow pattern, and the beat was quite original. Content-wise, I'd have to really listen to it again because I was kind of getting used to his style. But you know, the lyric, it felt pretty good. Yeah, maybe not like dark enough for what I play on the show, like not dark and grimy enough. Bit too happy for me. So when you listen to my show, you know what I mean. But yeah, it was good potential, nice introduction to your career. So yeah, like I'd be interested to check out some more. Yeah.
Okay, dope. The next track comes from Garton, and it features Slax Bianchi, also produced by Slax Bianchi, and it's entitled Fresh.
And we fresh, we just grinding for checks. With the guys from my set on my right and my left, we grind to the death. Provide you respect. From the 5 and we fresh. From the 5 and we fresh. From the 5 and we.
Looking back, I came a long way, far away from all the long days. Never thought that's the wrong way. Reminisce with some strong haze. Slicky B, how slicky be? So why you got such a long face? I ain't never been that Don's mate. Looks like you got the wrong name. Wait 20 minutes for the zip, then they came so fresh. Behind my back they talk ish, to my face they're blessed. Silly real ones in my clique, yeah, fuck all the rest. They just sheep, so I push them just straight to the left. Nip to the bits of my OG, in my puffer looking cozy. Bigs of the piff gone slowly, only sorted for the ones who know me. Yeah, that's low-key, Slick's gone with the OZ. We look back at our anthems like say, yeah, we got trophies.
From the 5 and we fresh. We just grinding for checks. With the guys from my set on my right and my left, we grind to the death. Provide you respect. From the 5 and we fresh. From the 5 and we fresh. From the 5 and we fresh.
Yeah, I fuck with that.
Mm.
I really like the production. It's super dark. I love Slack's production. It's always really tight. I think one bit of criticism or feedback that I'd give is that just to Slacks can be a little bit loose with his rhyming patterns, I guess. And for something that has like such distinct like beats or like distinct drum patterns, it kind of feels like he might be going off beat. So it like when you have something that's like 90 BPM and you can be a little bit more loose, then that's not really a problem, but it kind of stands out when you're hitting these like faster tracks. So just something to be aware of. I also think that the chorus maybe could have been mixed a little bit better, but I don't think that this is the final mix anyway. But it's a really good song. It's got potential. It's something that I would play on my show. Alfred.
Things I like about the track is experimentation with like the sort of drill inspired like elements that you can hear in the track. One thing, you know, you just keep hearing all these drill songs and it's like, give me something different. So it's that was a refreshing sort of take on the drill thing. What was it? Amy saying drill on acid. I'd have to agree. But yeah, man, I think majority of the song I did like. Maybe some bits could have poked me up a bit more, but it is I think you're right. I would listen to this myself anyway. And I think, you know, from the track that we're working with them on, you can tell that there's a nice chemistry going on. So I definitely would hit. Like, if this was like sitting in an EP, I'd love it. You know, I would skip it.
Have you guys got any feedback on it?
I would play that on my show. I like that a lot. I think at the beginning it was a bit hard to place. Like you said, when it came to the flow, it was like but then once you like you lock in, I liked it. I'll just make the intro shorter though.
Yes, yeah.
I was going to say that the intro was quite long.
Yeah, it was quite long. Yeah.
Okay. Next song comes from Shemi, and it's entitled Ride.
Chat to me, look like naughty. You can't afford it. Pressure on these diamonds, you just import it. Nigga, you pay for a star like a mortgage. I don't crash land, nigga, I concord it. You been self-made cause you're not important. I don't buy cheap, nigga, I can afford it. You can't talk shit if you think it's work every day like Paige. You getting that cake, nigga, you can't tame me. Niggas don't play me, room don't phase me. I love my girl till your bitch go crazy. Hair bitch burn like I'm in iCarly. You think I'm dumb, bitch, you look like Harley. You will think I won't be a green like parsley. I'm no snowflake, I'm a black snow target. Bitch, I can bake it, look at this bread. I don't fake it, look at my stead. Jump on board, baby, look at my neck. Kiss on my lips, baby, come protect. My pennies like to touch like a feather. All black jeans and I'm made from leather. When you move, we move together. I don't trust niggas, they move too clever. Baby, don't you cry for me. I know you wanna ride or die, don't fight for me. These niggas wanna lie, don't try for me. I know you wanna ride or die, don't die for me. Baby, don't you cry for me. I know you wanna ride or die, don't fight.
Shemi with Rides, that's self-produced as well. Nick.
Wasn't really for me, to be honest. I didn't really get what was going on with the intro and the hook, those vocals. It could be because I'm not really hearing the crisp version in my headphones. I do listen quite closely to specific noises that are being put out, and I didn't really connect to that one too hard. I felt the flow pattern and the delivery didn't really cut it for me, just not the levels that I'm looking for, to be honest. And lyrics, not really for me, to be honest. Bit superficial, materialistic, just didn't really, not what I'm looking for in a song. Perhaps others do, but just not my kind of thing. So sorry.
I see.
I think that the instrumental, the vocals and the chorus, I think if all those three parts are just worked on, then it would be a bit tighter. And the flow, I wasn't mad at the flow. I wasn't super mad at the flow, but I just think it needs, if you're going to do it, it's giving me like Samwise, House of Pharaohs. Like if you're going to do it, then you need to do it properly, you know. And I think that's another example of just letting the vibe of the song carry the song, as opposed to fully engaging with what you're trying to do with the song. Like if you know where you're trying to go with the song, what you're trying to do with it, then it has to be 100. I don't think it was 100. There's potential there, like with some work on the different elements of the song, I think it can come together.
Yeah. I mean, I understand the soundscape or like what he was going for. It is not for everyone, definitely. It's like music that I wouldn't mind. It's something that I would probably put on my playlist, not particularly play on the show. But I think that for me the problem was the mix. I couldn't really like gauge anything in terms of like lyrics or even just tone. It just felt a little bit flat for me there. But it's a specific sound for a lot, like a small subsection of like alternative rap fans.
Yeah, I wasn't mad at it. I liked it.
Yeah,
but I just there's more. I feel like the song has more to give than what we heard.
Yeah. All right, the next track comes from Nicki Knights. It dropped today on her new EP, and this one is entitled 1964.
With a lovely lawn, food cooking by the stove, granddad watching TV while my nanny does the most, playing with my finger smells coming from the roast. Before I had it all, I was never one to boast. Everything's in right place, cups on the coast, eating round the table, yeah, my nanny was the host. Homemade food, yeah, my granddad was the dude. Took us even out when he wasn't in the mood, eating mushy peas and chips by the seaside. Mommy just made cool sounds sitting in my knee highs, pure ecstasy and I didn't have to be high. Beautiful escape when you coming from the east side, show me life I would've never seen. A family all together and they living clean. Mama tried your best, always kept a G, a Hana. She had money for the food, he had money for the Hummer. He concerned what he's whipping in the summer, she concerned what she's whipping up for supper. Carrying bags that she working on her upper. Mommy fought that nigga cause that nigga was a sucker. That nigga didn't love you, all that nigga did was rob ya. Rob you of your time, he took you in your prime. Went from liver to the grind, now she living in the nine. That's really cute, boys.
Nicki Knights, 1964. Nick.
Yeah, I like that one. The intro was a bit long, but that, in a good way, that made me really listen when they did start spitting. Do you know what I mean? I felt the content was quite honest, and you know, she came across like someone who is rapping because she loves the art form, rather than any other reason. So I felt it was authentic. I felt the lyrics were quite interesting, made me want to listen to more. The beat was quite different as well. I like that about it. Whether it had a really old school feel combined with a contemporary feel, that was quite what I liked about it. So overall, thumbs up on that. Yeah, good tune.
Yeah, I thought the instrument was solid. I mean, listening to it in headphones, you can notice like the bass line was like panning left to right, which was a nice little touch there. I agree that the intro could have been probably shortened by an 8, and then it would have just been a little bit more impactful, because when I thought it was going to drop, it didn't. But that being said, I know it was produced by Henny Knights. There's live instrumentation in there, and that just having something that is built specifically for an artist just makes the whole package so much more unique, when it's not just something, a beat that you just bought, but it's like, you know, built in-house with a team, and you can definitely feel that. I love the subject matter. Solid track. Esi, what do you think?
I loved the content of that song. Like, it was so personal. Yeah, it was really personal and it was different. Like, I really liked everything she was saying in the song. Yeah, I agree with the intro. It was quite long. And I was like, oh, hasn't started yet. Oh. I don't know if I would. I think it's just a matter of personal preference. I don't know if I would necessarily listen to this, but having heard it, I really liked it, and I think I might listen to her EP because I liked.
Dope.
Yeah, I liked where it was going, and like you said about the having a instrumental or a beat like built for you, that's just giving me a sense of like what else is going to be on the EP. I feel like if there's other interesting beats on there, then yeah, I'm going to check it out.
Alfred.
Yeah, I agree with the intro bit, but then also agree with what Nick's saying. It did just add to that anticipation. So it's like not great for radio, but then on your own personal playlist, it'll probably be nice to just
perfect for radio.
Well, no, I mean like the intro.
Yeah, because then I'll get to talk over it.
Yeah,
yeah. Sorry.
No, but yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, just in terms of like just the like length of a song. You know?
Yeah, no,
sometimes they wouldn't even get to hear the full thing. But yeah, I love the bass on there. You know, just like
shout out to Amy on the bass.
Innit? Shout out to Amy on the bass. Bass. I feel like bass and rap really go together like quite nicely, which is cool. And it has that old school flavor with a bit of new school touch to it. You know, like she has a really unique voice, that sort of husky sort of voice you don't really hear much from females in rap, which is nice as well. So yeah, banger, really.
Sick. All right, the next track comes from Axel Holy and it's entitled Let It Go.
Yeah. Check it, yeah. Yeah, we are rights under control. 4K graphics on my console. Real Ronaldo cause I got goals. You really gonna feel it cause I got soul. Used to have a name, now it's John Doe. Used to have the flame, now it's got cold. Robert Downey really got blow. Came back iron like Zion, like what, whoa. Have a little faith like George, that I might have the key to the door if I don't really sure. No court action, no long talk. Find out who got it, they can't find more. Pay the piper, that's the price of life. Maybe I could try to throw the fight. Made of China, that's your kind of type. Made a viper, so you try to slide. I'm just tryna get a little bit of peace of mind. Everybody seems to want a little peace of mind. I'm just tryna make a couple moves like Jesus Christ. Let me do my thing, I guarantee we'll be alright. Let go, 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 let go.
Why you hold calling here for a daddy girl with dick? Like that, mommy?
Axel Holy, Let It Go off Wonderworld album. That was dope. The drums were slapping me from the jump. Like, is he from Bristol? Yeah. So the sound is like, it's just that raw. Like, I know Bristol and Brighton, like the guys that are doing rap there, have just got such a great like edge to them. I loved it. It was really, really crisp. That's something I'd play on the show for sure. Nick.
Yeah, that's my shit. I really enjoyed that one. The way that he just flows in and out of the beat so comfortably and effortlessly, I thought was cool. The lyrics kept me engaged, yet lyrics that you have to think about rather than just being too on the surface. Do you know what I mean? A bit more kind of in depth. He rode the beat well. The beat suited his vocals really well as well. So overall, I'm feeling that one a lot. I feel like, you know, as the song goes on, you want to keep listening to what he's saying as well, rather than just kind of figuring out, oh, I know what kind of stuff he's going to say next. You know, it's that kind of outside the box. And it had a good American influence as well, without sounding too like big friend of Americans, you know. So it had that kind of, he paid homage to that American vibe, but kept it fully UK at the same time. So a good bit of both. So yeah, definitely feeling that one. Yeah, thumbs up.
Sick. Alfred.
Yeah, I like this one. I like the beat. Probably more than a lot. Everything, like it's just very dark. But like heavy hitting. I feel like I need to listen to the lyrics again because I feel like some things might have got missed it on that first listen. But I just would really like to listen to that again.
Esi.
Yeah, the beat was hard. The beat would be a perfect like instrumental to talk over on radio. That was cold. I think that was cold. That was really good. The only part of the song I didn't like is when he repeated "Let it go," because I could just see it in a festival, just mosh pit everywhere. And I'm like, let me step back. That's a personal thing. When people do like the repetitive, like mosh pit, I'm just like, I don't really like it. But that was very good. I would definitely play that as well. I enjoyed it.
Sick. All right, the next song comes from Bond and Cadell, and it's entitled "Purple Kites."
Yeah, is this natural, yeah? Yeah, alright, let's see what this one sounds like. You know, it's easy. I'm high. I'm thinking it wrong, I'm guessing it right. I'm taking a bong, I'm hitting it strong, I feel it with eyes. I'm loving the weed is strong, I'm high as a kite. I'm loving the weed is strong, I'm high as a kite. I'm thinking it wrong, I'm guessing it right. I'm taking a bong, I'm hitting it strong, I feel it with eyes. I'm loving the weed is strong, I'm high as a kite. I'm loving the weed is strong, I'm high as a kite. I'm smoking a medical, flipping and rolling a chemical. I'm hitting this terrible, sitting and eating the edible, feeling becoming incredible.
Smokers always, tripping for days. Fly me to space, fly me away. I wanna taste you.
We're licking and flipping and hitting it slow. Dreaming and tripping and growing a crow. She be my girl, but she act like my bro. Inhale, exhale the weed I smoke.
You look so sweet, strawberry lace, stuck on your face, touching my waist. Come to my cave, I had you away. You wanna know, what did you say?
Who would've knew? Me and you, feeling and talking and loving the zoo. She loved the culture, she loved my roots. She loved my hair, she's calling me cute.
She love when we kiss and love when we touch. She love when we fuck, we can't do it enough. I'm about to boss out the biggest enough. She's looking so good, I'ma turn on the lights.
I'm thinking it wrong, I'm guessing it right. I'm taking a bong, I'm hitting it strong, I feel it with eyes. I'm loving the weed is strong, I'm high as a kite. I'm loving the weed is strong, I'm high as a kite.
I like that one, man.
Yeah, those ad-libs.
Yeah, I like it when you've got just two artists going back to back. It's great to see the chemistry. I think one thing I would say is that if you're gonna overlap someone else's bars, just make sure that it's clean, because there was a little bit of like clashing in that sense. I also feel like, I don't know which rapper was who, so but the first rapper for me was just a little bit more stronger.
Yeah,
and if you're gonna do that back-to-back thing, then you're both gonna have to like come as hard. And also the mix on the second vocalist was a little bit lower than the first, so it kind of got overshadowed just due to the mix. So but I like it. I like how playful it was. Again, something I definitely support on the show. And throw that to Nick.
Yeah, definitely my kind of thing. I didn't really like the second vocalist that much because it was a bit too singy, and it kind of took away from, you know, like the 420 theme bars on the song. I liked how he rapped about the main guy. I like how he rapped about, you know, bunning and green and stuff. I like that aspect of it, and I felt it was quite a good stoner song. I felt like it had those elements. The flows were tight. Overall, I was definitely interested to hear more. So, you know, it felt like quite a personal song as well. Felt like something that he was speaking about from his heart, and it wasn't too cliched as well, because a lot of like weed inspired, like weed themed hip hop songs can be a little bit recycled.
100%.
But the way that he broke down the lyrics were quite interesting, and I liked the vocal style as well. So yeah, I would definitely be interested to check out more. And yeah, big ups.
Bless. Right, the next track comes from Rough Royalty Collective, and it's entitled Gleam.
Yeah. Just got the verdict from court, acquitted above all the laws. I wanna rape for no ceilings, cause I done had on my floors. Still in the shoes like the top boy, I was out slanging the rock. Make a track, make a pop boy, like I've been in a trap with a cellular. I know a plugger from Edinburgh, related and messing my cousin. Double love, them my brothers, man. If I had to quit, it got another. If you
got two, that's mine. Can't take what's mine, cause I take what's yours. We loading on traps, what you take me for? Fuck a IC3, man, a IC4, top 4. Yeah, cause the key costs more. Fuck a beat, I don't fuck with a whore. Flip the grub, I don't care for the law. Ditch the grub, cause I care for the prop, and I learn from the loss. You can tell from my tone, I'm a boss. Let me know if you need that, hey. Let me know if you want make dust. Young jigga, man, I handle mine. Tell them I handle yours. Young jigga talk that shit. Jigga best walk that shit. Young jigga, man, I handle mine. Tell them I handle yours. Bitch said she love my shit. If every rubber don't come like this, yeah. I got something up my sleeve. Tell me what you want, I can get you what you need. See the shot, see the clean. Something really up my sleeve. Had to put them on the lead. Keep it tucked in the sleeve. I keep it tucked in the, yeah. I got something up my sleeve. Tell me what you want, I can get you what you need. See the shot, see the clean. Something really up my sleeve. I had to put them on the lead.
Rough Royalty Collective track was entitled Gleam. Esi.
That's my style. I like that a lot. That's all me. The beat's cold, the singing, I like it. I like the rap as well. What I will say though is that I think the bars could have been stronger, but because I was like, yeah, you can get away with it a little bit, but no, the bars need to be stronger. The second verse where the guy was singing, he definitely caught some pockets in there that was sick as well. But again, I think stronger bars would make that a 10 out of 10 track, because that was like, I like that a lot. It has a lot of potential. They're nearly there. But like I said, not that you should be getting away with weaker bars on songs, but I think as a whole, the song was good. But I feel like looking at verses individually, there were some moments I was like, you could have come a little bit harder. Do you know what I mean? But I'm with it. I like that a lot.
Yeah. Alfred.
For me, I think, I liked it. It was the last verse before you faded out. I wasn't a huge fan of. It was kind of making me drop off a bit. But yeah, it's that UK like rap sort of element. Can't really fault it too much. I just wish, it was just that last verse that started to take it out for me. Yeah. But
I thought the hook was strong. Melodically, I thought it was great. Yeah, for me, the verses weren't as strong as the hook, but it's not. It's like it has potential, but it's just missing that edge.
There's like a couple bars could have been tighter or changed, you know.
But then I was thinking, it's also just a fun track as well. So is a song just not trying to take itself too seriously? And I guess we give, like a lot of the times in the UK, we give leeway to like the Americans who want to say when they're rapping like that, but then we give a lot of scrutiny to our lyrics and stuff like that. So I guess if in the sense of just being like a fun song, I guess the lyrics kind of made it was enough. But I guess to take it to that next level, it would have a little bit more wordplay in the lyricism would have been quite cool.
Agreed.
Just a reminder, if you could rename yourself to the artist name, that would be great, so that we can find your song. The next track comes from Tim Does It, and it's a demo, and it's entitled Crooked.
I sin and then I repent. My life feels like it's a test. Tell a man don't spot me with your left. Don't you have respect? If I'm feeling smoky, I ain't sending no texts. If I'm feeling smoky, I ain't sending no friends. No friends. No friends. Don't spot me with your left. Don't you have respect? Ooh. Stupid Westerners, it's payback time, it's trade back time, it's putting the work and lay back time, it's putting the dirt and stay down and fly back to night. You know I don't need no disguise, I'm good with the guys, man, they know the vibes. Crooked, show no love and you know how I do. Double lot of my killers, my chocolate down, I say, hey, what's good? But just keep my my respect when I say it, so do what I regret, then I let low. Tryna hit me, you basic to pay for. I'm a foreigner, I got paid, so who does it, my best call me Pedro. Who does it, my best call me Benga. Need 100 million before 30, slump a nigga silly.
I like that. I
Uh-huh.
like that a lot. I love his cadence. I love the different pockets that because the beat was quite consistent, but he made it seem more dynamic by, fitting into different pockets of the track. I love the touches of personality and kind of different vocal styles that he is bringing as well. And for something that is so like laid back and chilled, it kind of piqued my attention again when you kind of like feel like you're gonna maybe drift off. You're like, oh, okay, now he's changing it up a little bit. Yeah, I really enjoyed that.
Who's getting ID Pizzle Dior vibes?
No. No, was he?
I was a little bit at times.
No.
I think maybe just hearing the accent a little bit, and just a bit of the track was just breaking me that think about that. But yeah, I like that track though. It's very it's a nice song. It's not like it's not like crazy standing out to me, but it's something like it's like a solid 7 out of 10. You know.
I think it was giving me like UK 2015, like like Jay Silva and Bassman. That's what that was giving me. I liked it, and you know what, the part that you faded out, I was like, oh, it's hard. Like that verse, he was spitting on that. I like it. Yeah, I like that.
It reminds me of like early A2.
Yeah, like that kind of time, 2015, 2016, when it was kind of like melodies were heavy in the sound. I liked it though. I liked it.
Nick.
Yeah, I'm not really into melody rap, I'll be honest. It's just something which I've never really been down with. I think the guy had talent and he carried the song well, and he had a good voice, but in terms of me actually enjoying it, it just wasn't for me. So yeah, it's not to say it's not good. I just didn't really dig it. But I thought it was like the different techniques that he was vocalizing kind of stood out, and it had a bit of a vibe of Future to it. I don't know if anyone else did. I don't listen to much Future, but in terms of like the structure and the vocal style, it kind of came off that way. So yeah, good potential, just not for me.
Cool. All right, next track comes from Zaddy, and it's entitled Off the Gas.
So much to say, I don't wanna say it. Taking our foot off the gas now. I'm on the way to letting us waste it. Hearing your voice in the background. Always get when I'm feeling my best. I wasn't ready to lay this to rest. Feeling my heart more than a test. More than my heart. In my own chest. Drive around the city, one end in the sky. Rolling, burning, it's a hell of a life. I know you don't want a regular guy. Pull up to yours or you can pull up to mine. I'ma have gold in my mouth and I'ma check you in the south. And 9 of the gram gave you dials, but there's only one space on my couch. I'm off the drinks and the vibes. I might go link on my guys. Feet on the ground, but my head's in the sky. Why did I do this all again tonight? Ooh, all again tonight. Ooh. So much to say, I don't wanna say it.
Zaddy with Off the Gas. Nick.
Yeah, it was interesting. Good song. I hate comparing artists to other artists. I really don't, because it's a bit offensive to the artist, but I got very much like a Post Malone kind of feeling on that.
Yeah, 100%.
Which is not a bad thing at all.
Yeah.
It just didn't come across too original. That's the only downside. I feel like you carried the track well. The production was really nice. You have a sweet voice as well. Like, I felt like there was definitely good talent there. But especially like that song, Congratulations, it had that feel to it. I'm thinking the right song. Yeah, Congratulations by Post Malone. So Yeah, good song. Not original enough for me, but I think the vocal worked well with the kind of bassy production. I thought that combination was really interesting, and the lyrics were quite interesting as well. So yeah, I think it was pretty good.
I think like, I guess in just addressing your originality thing, just knowing Zaddy's discography is quite unique for him.
Okay.
So I like that he's kind of stepping into a kind of new circle, like a new sound. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a strong track. It's gonna cross over into like different circles. It's gonna hit like this indie scene, R&B. You know, hip hop heads are still gonna like it. So that's really quite like a good thing to have when you're creating a track. Esi.
It's interesting that you said Post Malone, because now in hindsight, yeah, I get Post Malone, but at the time I was like, this is the kind of R&B that if you had a playlist of like Summer Walker, Division, High Next Door, like this song would fit in. I was with it. That was a vibe. I really like that. And that's something my brother would play. Like he would be like, oh, have you heard this song? Like, he was like, I really like that. I like that a lot.
Alfred.
Yeah, I like it as well. It is very much like Post Malone, but not in a way that it sounds too much like Post Malone. I thought we were talking the other day about like this sort of emo indie rap wave that's coming up through at the moment. And if you know, this is a sort of song that it makes a lot of sense in that sort of wave coming up now. It's good. It is. You can tell he's kind of got his own sound. I was a bit apprehensive at first when he did that whole high note thing, and then he came back and did it again.
I liked it.
I think the second time he came back, I was like, I get it now.
Better.
If he didn't come back the second time, I would have been like, take that out. But the second time coming back made it. I understood the vibe. So yeah.
Agreed. I was tentative there.
Like, oh, what's that?
All right, the next track comes from Dwyer and Freak Slug, and it's entitled Easy Peasy, and this is a demo track.
Text you when I'm back, then sorry. SMS, I'm in no hurry. I don't call, but I want to always. All I do is miss the phone ring, phone ring, phone ring, phone ring, phone ring, phone ring. Will you come to me or do what I can? Please tell all your friends they can confide in me. I'll be wearing magic on my sleeve. Don't do novelties, no novelties. Cause I've given up running on empty. If you want a hug, I'm there if you need me. You keep on needing cause I'm kinda sweet. Always give the love that you might need. It's easy, easy, so easy. It's easy, so easy. Easy peasy, easy peasy.
That don't even sound like a demo.
Yeah, at all.
That was very, very nice. The vocal is sweet.
Mm-hmm.
And I like, that's the thing, like the instrumental is simple, but it gives the singer enough space to really like fill it with her own melodies, because obviously like the singer is an instrument in themselves. So that was really nice. I enjoyed that. That was Dwyer. So it was produced by Dwyer, and Freak Slug is the vocalist, I believe. Nick.
Yeah, wicked. One of my favorite ones of the day, to be honest. Very original. That's what I like about it. The beat had like a wonky electronic vibe to it, which I think stood out for me because I hadn't heard anything like that before. Not in this lane anyway, maybe on some like proper ambient left field kind of stuff, but on this lane, it really did feel original. The singer, her voice was really distinct. and her accent came across quite nicely as well, like a UK accent. London kind of KEB kind of vibe, you know, where you can actually hear that they're a singer from London, which is very rare these days. A lot of singers put on a fake American accent. I think it's just by force of habit rather than actually choosing to do it. Even like Elton John, like a lot of singers just put on an American accent for some reason, and she didn't. And you know, it sounded floaty, it sounded relaxing, it had a real atmospheric energy to it, and you could play it in many different contexts. Maybe not in a rave, but in many other contexts, you know, it definitely had like a laid back, feel good vibe to it. And I think I'd say push that as far as it can go, because it's got real good potential there.
Definitely.
And a lot of different audiences would appreciate it as well, especially on like Six Music, BBC Six Music. That would be a good audience for it. Radio 1. I feel like it's got a broad audience there. So yeah, well done. Good work.
Yeah. I mean, Alfred, from a radio perspective, what do you think?
Yeah, that would be like perfect sort of thing. Like, yeah, Six Music is a good shout. You know, with the right build up, it could even, it's one of those like Radio 1 type songs for daytime. It would just fit in so perfectly. Her voice is really good. The beat pairs perfectly with it. I would really be, I'd love to hear more. But I think from just mainly from a radio perspective, it's definitely the sort of songs that they look for on daytime radio.
Okay. The next track comes from AP Coley and it's entitled My GG.
Oh, yeah. She my good girl, always got my back, keep it wrapped in the backwood, girl, never fucking slack, always about your business and you handle that, that's my good girl, my GG, my everything, my all day, my everyday, I would never change how it feels, so it stays the same, it gets better with you, I feel like it's better less having with you, I feel like God made the best choice, how could I ever choose? Another over you, no one can fill your shoes. I'm ready for whatever, look at what we made it through. Feels like there's nothing we can't do. With you in my view, my GG. My good girl, she knows that, my GG. If something's wrong, then I got her back, that's my GG. My GG. My good girl, she keep it 2G. She's so good to me. Yeah, woke up to a kiss on the cheek. You made me eggs with the cheese. Damn, even rolled up my weed. Damn, Big J off of me. Damn, you treat a nigga like a king.
AP Coley with My GG. Alfred.
I'm on the fence with that one. That there's times that I really, and I like the vibe. And there was times when I just felt like the lyrics were just getting a bit repetitive for me personally. There's different parts about the song. I'm just trying to think because there's a few notes that I was having about the track. But yeah, it is quite a nice old hip hop beat. That beat's perfect, like in that sort of lo-fi sort of setting. But I just wish there was a bit more wordplay in the lyricism for the content that he was giving me. That's what I'm trying to say.
Nick.
Yeah, I think I'd agree on that level. It felt quite 2000s, like mid 2000s sound. It had some good elements to it, but overall, it didn't grab me. I'll be honest, it wasn't really for me. A little bit too mushy, a bit too kind of just not my kind of vibe. So I don't want to say too much else, but just didn't hit me enough to say, yeah, I like it.
Esi?
I think that I know where the song's trying to go, but I don't think it was the right beat for the song, maybe, or that the verses kind of just just one constant, one long sentence. I think if there was just something different happening in the way you were delivering the verses, or the way the way the artist is delivering the verses, I probably would have liked it more. I agree with Alfred when there were certain points I was like, then, like I was just trying to pick out like what points I liked exactly. But I think the song needs work. I don't know if it's the songwriting or the instrumental that I wasn't really like clicking onto. But yeah, but with some, like, I know where the song's trying to go, definitely.
Yeah. All right, so the next track comes from Hanice, and it's entitled Marble Tears.
Baby, I hope you know you're amazing. Innocent like the daisies. Girl, you're my favorite blessing. And if you ever see me go crazy, you're back, please, and no 90. It's the touch your has made me. Your laughing is a drug, all it gets me so high, makes me levitate. It feels so long, but it's only been a night. You're my everything. Your laughing is a drug, all it gets me so high, makes me levitate. I feel so long, but it's only been a night. You're my everything. Laying on the sheets and I'm all sad. I'm already missing you so bad. It's only been a night, but it feels like ages and years have gone by. Now I'm asking, what is life? It's boring without you laying by my side. I'm missing all those days that I held your hand. Drew you close to me, then get mesmerized. Feeling low, but fever's gotten high. Just because I was a little guy. I was chatting, walking, making plans. I was looking something, but I never showed my love to who was on my mind. Wishing I could tell her has the time, so I could tell him fix it for yourself.
That was Hanice with Marble Tears. Esi.
I think there was a lot happening on the beat. But without the synth and without, I don't know what instrument it was in the chorus, the beat was very strong. And I think you just need to decide where you're trying to go. Like, are you trying to go like a Disclosure kind of sound, or are you trying to stay with a Afrobeat sound with the drums? Because honestly, without the sound of the chorus, I think it was pretty strong.
100%.
I think the chorus was like, oh, okay, like, are we doing Radio 1? Are we doing like, you know what I mean? Whereas before, I heard, when the song first came in, I was like, oh, this is nice. And then the first verse of the beat's Blacktips. I think there's just a lot of different things in there. And if you just take out a couple, then I think, yeah, it will still stand as a good song.
Yeah, I think for me, as like, I mean, I'm not really into like Afro beats and stuff, but in terms of just like the production itself, I thought it was strong, but like the melody and the drum patterns I've heard before, and I don't know if that's just because Afro beats kind of has that structure, but I wasn't a fan of the vocal, I won't lie, especially the part when it was coming into kind of like the talky rap thing. I don't think it was particularly strong. But if that was like a reference track for another artist to take, then it could definitely go somewhere. But just as it is, I don't think it was for me, to be fair. Alfred.
Yeah, I agree. I think the song is like almost there. I think there's actually a really good song in here. I think the way, like, the singer let himself down at parts, but I can hear that he's good. I think if these guys were just like, right, let's strip one or two features back away from the beat, sort out those like talking parts, I think there's actually a strong song in this song. You know, it sounds like a lot of like big commercial songs that you're hearing these days, and it's just it's fun. But yeah, there's parts letting it down with. I think Essie saying is right. There's just there's one too many stuff going on with the production, because I understand that is like an experimental beat and you're trying something different, which is really good, but you do have to refine it. And I think I working with that singer, you just need to, I think you maybe need to work on the lyrics a bit more. When singers do that whole singing and rapping thing, it can be hit and miss at times, and I feel like this was a bit of a miss. But the singing was good, so I would want to hear more from the singing side on this. But yeah, definitely work with that singer more, because I think you lot could create something good.
No, it's the singer is the production, or is
he's
the producer, sorry.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah,
I thought it was two different people.
All right, so the next track comes from Midnight Funk featuring Jay Warner. The track's called Sunset, and it's an unreleased track.
Gresh, I'll let you know, my boy.
Sunsets right with you. I'm here high on you. Don't leave me lonely, yeah. Cause my sunsets right with you. If I'm doing life with you, I won't hide the truth. I want you only, yeah. Cause my sunsets right with you. You, yeah, yeah. I don't know where all these feelings coming from, where they coming from. Ooh, if you push me to the edge, I'ma jump. Looking like lobster, give me something, a little something's more than enough. Head's gone crazy, don't run. Only you make it when the sunset's right with you. I'm here high on you. Don't leave me lonely, yeah. Cause my sunsets right with you. If I'm doing life with you, I won't hide the truth. I want you only, yeah. Cause my sunsets right with you. You, yeah, yeah, yeah. My head, your heart.
Midnight Funk, Jay Warner. I like to say it's very radio ready. Yeah, Nick.
Yeah, good song. Quite a feel-good, summery, kind of romantic, sentimental vibe to it, which is nice to hear. You know, literally, like, I think the vocals worked really well with the production. Again, I'm not sure if the vocalist is American or British, but it did sound a bit too American if it was English. Just that's one thing I pick up on. But yeah, I think that had some really good qualities to it, and I feel like both people involved in that song felt really professional, and it came across as a really well produced track, and yeah, definitely ready for the mainstream's ears. Yeah,
Definitely. And Esi.
I really liked it. I really, really liked it. And I think that's a good example of what I mean when I say that if you're a singer and you're doing R&B, because that beat was very simple, like there was not much to it at all. But you didn't notice it was a simple beat because he had runs, he had harmonies, he was doing different flows and he was singing. Do you know what I mean? It was really nice. I think the songwriting could have been tighter, but it's not a deal breaker for me. I really enjoyed it. Yeah. Amy said a simple beat requires an intelligent melodic vocal. Exactly. That literally, like, he could have just sang My Sunset's Nice With You for 3 minutes and it would be like, what? But he was doing all sorts on the song.
Yeah.
You know, so it wasn't like, oh wait, what is it like? It was nice. I like that a lot. I enjoyed that.
Fabulous. The next song comes from Gio. It features Corey Young and it's entitled Wake Up.
Oh, I wish. I could go back to reality. I can't feel my mind no more. I get a little crazy every time I wake up.
And Corey Young. It's not a sound that I'm not familiar with, but like that I would go and play. I don't want to be ignorant and say it's country, but that's what
Mhm.
I would say it sounds
Yeah.
like. But his tone is amazing. I love his tone. I thought the beat was really interesting. I thought it was a little bit there was a instrument used that was a little bit abrasive, like it was too heavy. But overall, I thought it was a good track. I just don't know where it would sit in our kind of world. But I
Got a
think
blues vibe from it. Yeah, like blues, soulful blues, with modern, like urban, like gritty production. That's what I really liked about it. It fused two different cultures together, or two time periods of cultures together, and yeah, I thought that was dope. Very original, very kind of stand out, and yeah, it's good to hear someone that is able to take something from yesteryear and bring it into modern day.
Is he from the UK?
I looked him up. He's not the vocalist. He's on American Idol. He's on.
Ah, yeah. I get it. I definitely got like the country vibes, the blues.
Yeah.
That was cold. I think the vocalist could have been a bit more, could have been a wider vocal, like for the song, because he stopped his words, and I'd have liked to hear him like just be a bit more dramatic with it, because the beat was quite dramatic. But I like that a lot. That's cold. I like that a lot. Definitely. And to be honest, I think it would get picked up in the UK. Like Nick said about BBC Six, they were there 100%. They'll play that. I used to work in a bookings agency, and that's like the kind of artist that they would love. Like, yeah, there's definitely a place for that. 100%.
Wicked. All right, next track comes from Robbie Raps, and it's entitled Energies.
No, I don't care for your energies. Same enemies, stay sipping on the same jealousy. You ain't getting ahead of me. Yeah, this game's about a mindset. You haven't got it mentally. Don't care for your energies. Same enemies, stay sipping on the same jealousy. You ain't getting ahead of me. Yeah, this game's about a mindset. You haven't got it mentally. Nah, no, I don't care for your bad vibes. Ill rhymes have been coming from my ill mind. Tired raps, you need to put them for a nap time. No faith in you, think it's time you got baptized. Now I got music going all across the borders, trying to put me on the tour bus, putting Robbie on the chorus, meaning everything is flawless. Yours are dropping like it's jawless. I hit the stage, and when I'm leaving, all I hearing are applauses. It's cause I put the practice in the craft, and I ain't looking back, and I ain't ever coming last. It's cause I took the time to work on myself and make a master plan to make me blow up like I was Afghanistan. It ain't just that, I'll be working with the team who'll be working on the dream just to make a bit of cream. Yeah, you should've stuck with me, best believe I ain't talking clover lines when I say that I'm about to be supreme. No, I don't care for your energies. Same enemies, stay sipping on the same jealousy. You ain't getting ahead of me. Yeah, this game's about a mindset. You haven't got it mentally. Don't care for your energies. Same enemies, stay sipping on the same jealousy. You ain't getting.
Robbie Raps with Energies. Nick.
Yeah, man, feeling that one a lot. Very UK, very passionate about his craft. You can tell, man, he's not just doing it for the hell of it. Like, you can tell he really means what he says. He delivered it in a really like punchy way where you can't ignore it. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, the lyrics were strong as well. I thought the lyrics were quite clever, and it had the only thing downside, I'd say, it had a bit too much of a UK hip hop vibe to it, which isn't a bad thing because that's what it is, but it could be a little bit more original. But overall, I think it's right for what it is. You know, I don't think he's trying to do anything too far left, you know, so I think it was good. It was overall all round a good song. Yeah, man, big up Robbie Raps.
Cool. Alfred?
Yeah, I think from what Nick was saying about the UK rap vibe coming from it, I think that for me, that sound can sound just a little bit dated, so I wish he could have updated it. That sounded just a little bit more. It is good for what it is, so it's not even something that I wouldn't listen to. I actually like the song, but I feel like in this climate, it may get a bit overshadowed because of that sort of like old school UK rap sort of influence on the track. But yeah, I do like the track though. It's good.
Cool. I'm going to play a couple more tracks and then we're going to wrap things up. So we'll probably just do like a one person from each feedback. So the next one is Ade, and it's entitled Glorious, and it's a demo.
Can I rest my heaviness, so can you hold it in your heart? Can I look to you, walk with me through the darkest path? Candle in the night, I hold you, burning sun to my night. Walk with me, shine bright, up, dance with me, shine bright. We are glorious, we are chosen, found shelter in the golden. Build up our holy city, can't shake it down like Jericho. We are glorious, we are chosen, found shelter in the golden. Build up our holy city, can't shake it down like Jericho. Catch me when I fall, like falling far from the ground. Can I take my refuge? Carry me as your own. I will hold my head. Can you place my crown? Walk with me, shine bright, up, dance with me, shine bright. We are glorious, we are chosen, found shelter in the golden.
Esi.
Yeah, that vocal was really, really interesting. I liked it, and I liked the Space Invaders on the instrumental. It was fun. I think that I would have liked to, because there was a break after the first chorus, but I think the first verse and the first chorus, they could have been allowed to breathe a little bit because it felt quite rushed at the time. But that's a really, like, I was like this. I really liked it. I like that a lot.
I was trying to work out like where it fits just in the musical. I liked it. I really liked it.
I don't know where it fit. I don't know. I think
it was like a touch of Afro beats.
Yeah, but then also I was getting like Robin, and then I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah, that was interesting. That was cool. It was fun, summary, you know, like it didn't take itself too seriously, but also the lyrics, like "We are glorious." I love it. I've got a lot of time for that.
Really anthemic, yeah. Okay, so the next track comes from TM and Remy, and it's entitled Blue.
I feel blue. I cannot let go of you. Cameras on the bone. I don't like flashing, you see. I feel blue. I cannot let go of you. Cameras on the bone. I feel blue. I feel blue. I cannot let go of you. No. Cameras all about me. I don't like flashing, you see. I know, but that can't bring me down now. I just let my songs bounce out. Kick you with me like a roundhouse. Stay with me and I'll be proud. I feel blue. I cannot let go of you. No. Cameras all about me. I don't like flashing, you see. I know, but that can't bring me down now. I just let my songs bounce out. Kick you with me like a roundhouse. Stay with me and I'll be proud.
You was about, you was around. You were just stuck as on cloud. We put the work, you can hug. You on the grass, we came up from the. They don't know how it went down. You were there for the come down. I see them when they come round. Yeah, they came for the front house.
All of her tricks, she got her niggas in her tits. And I come back around just like a boomerang. I won't make it sound nothing like a orangutan. I've lost myself till I made friends. I only got myself to the very end. Since then I learned my lesson.
TM and Remy with Blue. Alfred, I'll give that to you.
It's nice. It wasn't doing enough to stand out to me as much as I would have liked it to, but yeah, I don't know. You know, it's a nice song. I like the beat on there, very nice, and like, you know, your typical sort of like lo-fi sort of bars and beat. Sorry, yeah, I would listen to that again. I don't really have much to say. I don't know what more that I'm looking for at the moment, but I just felt like there could be one or two elements maybe that could have, maybe like a beat change up, or maybe him switching up his cadence. Maybe, I don't know.
I almost felt like we had already heard that song.
Yeah.
Today.
Exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, in that sense, it just didn't stand out, but it wasn't bad.
Exactly.
But it wasn't like I wouldn't gravitate towards it necessarily. All right, the next track comes from Wills, and it's entitled "Bounce Back."
Yeah.
GC on the track, boy. No more making bad decisions. Even though I know better, still make bad decisions. I just bounce back and get back to business. I just wear a smile and try to count my blessings. Yeah. Keep on making bad decisions. Even though I know better, still make bad decisions. I just bounce back and get back to business. I just wear a smile and try to count my blessings.
I don't gossip the story. I just flourish in silence. Only thinking about money signs, then I'm focused on violence. Focused on trying to chase Gally, you know them guys need guidance. On my own I really do this from a waste, man I need silence. Ooh, be quiet, all that extra shit is not needed. Stay on point sharp like a needle, and just spread love to the people. Cute Gally all excited, got niggas smiling and whatnot. When I meet people she don't like that, but I won't be long, I'll be right back. All me bro, move back, even when the hoes say who's that. I just keep walking, never look back. Pick a side dish, overcooked food, like why the fuck would I do that? I'm a real nigga, need a real bitch, and that's true facts, and I got that, and let's thank the fucking Lord. Ooh, yeah.
No more making bad decisions. Even though I know better, still make bad decisions. I just bounce back and get back to business. I just wear a smile.
Wills, Bounce Back. I feel like I've heard that beat before, but maybe I don't know. And then we give it to Nick.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. Wasn't really my sound that I'm looking for to cover, but I felt like he showed some good talent, interesting sound, did something a bit original, which is obviously really important to do. But yeah, overall, it wasn't really something that I would support. So yeah.
Okay. Esi,
anyway, I gotta go. Just say I've got to go. But great to meet you guys and enjoy the music.
Fun.
Peace
you,
out.
Nick.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
So Esi, I'll give it to you.
Yeah, I liked it. I love the horns. The horns are sick in the beat. I think it was a feel good track. I'm not mad at it. I'm like, yeah, this is nice, you know.
Okay, dope. The next track is from Lil Rocket. It's entitled "Baguettes in My Baguette." And
My what?
Baguettes in my baguette. I don't know what a baguette is. I think it might be like jewelry. I don't know if it's like a chain or a thing, but yeah, baguettes are like certain diamonds.
Lil Rocket is
it's
a watch.
I don't fuck with lanes, so don't stay too close. You ain't in my lane, yeah, you shift too slow. Drip a couple bands, yeah, the fit too cold. Probably to complain, but the rest too froze. Oh, the rest too froze. Oh, the rest too froze. Oh, rest too froze. Oh,
Gucci wallet cost a dub, and I made it bow. Me and 2-3 in the beam on road.
I like the lazy, you just too slow. Money got supreme, nigga, breathe too low.
And I don't talk a lot. I be in the P-Lot with your baby in the parking spot. Got a couple bands on my neck like froze. Cameras get the snapping, nigga, 3-2 post.
I don't fuck with lies, so don't sit too close. You ain't in my lane, yeah, you shift too slow. Drip a couple bands, yeah, the fit too cold. Probably to complain, but the rest too froze. Oh, the rest too froze. Oh, the rest too froze. Oh, rest too froze. Oh,
yeah. Red October, my new jacket. Teo made a magic. She said what I want, told her sit it on my palate.
Lil Rocket. Do you know what? I like that.
That was really, really good.
I like that a lot.
That was wicked. Yeah.
It doesn't have to be about lyricism all the time.
Exactly.
Sometimes it can be just like a nice bouncy vibe.
Yeah. When the bass dropped as well.
Yeah. I love the sonic sample in there. I believe it's a Sonic sample, like the little, you know, when you power up your Sonic. Yeah. It was great. It was a nice bouncy vibe. I thought the delivery was strong. I like the use of the auto tune in the chorus. Tied it together really good.
I think it was a well-rounded, like, if you're going to make a song like that, then that's how you should make it, you know. It had different vibes happening, the auto-tune, the rap, the talking, the singing, like, yeah, that was really good. Well done.
Sick. All right, we're going to play one more song, and it comes from Slax Bianchi. It's coming off his forthcoming album, and it's entitled Palermo.
Slickest in the scene, the papers up with all the team. Got the brethren on the phone and he just called my green. Head low in the whip, I'm quickly dipping to the screen. They all talk but they just wishing they were just making some paper. Wasting my time but they see nothing major. Up in the city, I'm stinking of flavors. Lost in this vagrant. Drink all the stuff showing intentions to blatant. Gets exhausted, that's why in the mood for talking. Never hungry in the morning. Boredom, yeah, I'm yawning. Getting busy. Sorry, I'm slipping when I'm walking. Getting dizzy. Tonic's what I'm sipping is flawless. You could get good news, but on a bad day. I see how you move. Now I don't break. I got movements to make. Constantly thinking of paper and how I can make more. Why you gotta hate for? Same breath 5 years deep in the 8 ball. They couldn't find source, no they lost it. Problems on top of problems, on top of issues, I dodged it. Then when I flossed it. If you knew my story, you knew that I bossed it. Say no more, I'm not on the gossip.
That production is wild, man.
That was really good.
That was tight.
Yeah, when that bass kicked in, I was like, ooh. Alfred, what's your thoughts?
I just like it. Like, it's just very, like, I just like Slack's voice. His cadence is just very. He understands his cadence and what works for the track, and I feel like that's allows him to make these sort of songs that just fits into this pocket so perfectly. I just really just want to hear more from him. I'd definitely be looking out for this. Is it EP? You say?
It's an album.
It's an album even. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's definitely like an album type track. Like, you know, really introspective, but just nice and chilled.
Yeah,
Comes up.
It's a nice deep cut. Makes me want to bun a zoo, like kind of like float with it. It sits well like on our playlist. It would also go well on our radio show. Like, I guess that my only thing is that he should be aware is to try and make music for daytime radio. I guess because when you have tracks like this, and if you're going to put it out as a single, it's very hard to appeal to a daytime radio host. But like for me, we play like Sunday evenings now, so that fits in perfectly. But Esi, I don't know, because you play in the day.
Yeah, daytime. Yeah, it's definitely a specialist show track. Yeah. Definitely. I mean, I'll play it. It's not like it won't get played during the day,
but it would stick out in your track list in terms of mood.
Yeah. I liked it though. When the beat dropped, was cold. The beat was sick. His voice fit really nicely with everything. Like, it was a good song.
Wicked. That was it. That was the last one.
Thank you. That was lit. Now, we've had some fire today.
Yeah. Today's been a really good day. A lot of good submissions. Well done, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Esi, how can people find you? What's coming up next for you? What's coming up with Sanctuary as well?
Yeah, so you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Esi LDN, and then at Sanctuary LDN on Insta and Twitter as well. And I'm on the radio if you want to send me some stuff to play. So I do Saturday, Sunday, Monday and Tuesday. With Sanctuary, we're just obviously, you know, lockdown. So we're focusing on a lot of online stuff, and we're trying to put something together for Carnival, which would be really good.
Nice.
Yeah, because it was 5 years this year, and we had some shit planned, you know. We had some shows planned, but it had to get postponed. But just rolling with the punches, you know, moving everything online, and you know, by August maybe, I don't know if people will want to come out there.
I don't know. I was at the park the other day and it was packed. I thought people wouldn't be rushing out, but I feel like they really are rushing out.
But the park is packed and street parties are packed. as like an indoor, like full.
Yeah. That's a really good point.
It's risky. I don't even know if I'd want to be in an indoor with 500 people. I'm like, whoa.
Tramell's like, no.
Yeah, exactly. So everything's going to be online. But yeah, follow us. And I put my music email in there. So don't hesitate to send me your music, and I'll get back to you, and if I like it, I'll spin it, or I'll say, you know. So yeah, thank you for having me. This is a sick idea.
You're very, very welcome.
Thanks for coming.
Come back anytime.
100%.
I will. It's like anything to do, you know.
So that was the last playlist party of the series. We've done 5. We've had some amazing gems. We appreciate everyone coming through and contributing. It's been had some great discussions, great feedback, and you know, hope no one was offended too much, and you know, been able to take it on and you know, improve, or like maybe just decide that we're chatting shit. I don't know. Yeah, same with the Pit London. You can send us music, and you can send it to our email, which is music@thePitLDN.co.uk. Same thing, we have a radio show on Represent, which is now on Sundays 8 till 10. So we're on now. So if you lock off now, go on to represent.org.uk and you can hear our show. It's amazing. We play alternative hip hop, R&B, a little bit of indie. So if that's your thing, then please send us some music. And I don't know when we'll be back. Maybe in a couple of weeks' time. Yeah,
in a couple of weeks. We've already started to get some guests ready. We've got people from Trench Mag, more people from radio. Yeah, we've got a lot lined up. But as we said, you know, if you've got any suggestions of how we could, you know, make it better, change it up, or anything like that, you know, just send us suggestions. You know, we're open to just working with you guys as best as possible and just making this as fun experience as possible.
Definitely. Shout out to Jide for the Q&A earlier.
Yeah, shout out to Jide.
Make sure you guys go follow GUAP Mag as well. Go support their cause. And yeah, we will see you in a couple weeks' time. Anything else you want to say? Shout out to Kimani as well.
Yeah, shout out to Kimani.
Follow the Pit London, which is at the Pit LDN. Follow Playlist Party UK. And yeah, follow us up. Yeah, that's
all right, guys.
Have a good evening.
Enjoy your
evening,
weekend.
Good morning around the world. Take care. Bye, guys.